welcome to Big Nick, Big Leadership, because the world needs leaders. This will be another Mentor Minute where I discuss wisdom and insight that I gain from anything that happens during the day, whether it's a book I've read, whether it's a quote I saw, or perhaps something I learned when I stubbed my toe. Either way, it will be short and sweet, and it could hit the right note with the right person at the right time. So here it goes. Today, I want to talk to you about take action. So you have made a big decision in your life. You've gotten inspired. You're pumped up. You're going to make big changes. And then you see that there's a mountain in front of you to achieve that goal. Let us represent this with an actual mountain. There is your goal. Now this is you achieving that goal. Yay, look at you on the top of the mountain. So great. And as we all know, this is you right now at the bottom of the mountain. So now what? The problem is we're mixing the thrill of accomplishment with the delayed gratification of long-term results. You're not going to magically appear at the summit if you don't climb that thing. It's going to take some work. So, people give up at the bottom because the journey to get there seems too long. And once the emotional high of that first decision has gone, you're left with the follow-through and the work that it takes to get those results. The key that successful people and successful leaders practice is that once you make that decision, you take immediate action on that decision. The journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step. I'm sure you've heard that before. Or you've heard things like, take it one day at a time, or just keep putting one foot in front of the other. So what does this actually mean when you boil it down? It's simpler than you think. Once you've made a major decision and you're fired up about that major decision, do something. Do anything. Take some action, no matter how small, that moves you in the direction of your goal. So let's say you want to lose some weight. Well, the first step would be to decide what kind of workout you're going to do. And then maybe the next day you decide to go out and get yourself a nice big water bottle. And the next day, you decide to get yourself some protein powder. And the next day, you actually do your first workout. And then you say, wow, I've done one workout. So imagine all of a sudden you start taking little tiny steps forward. Well, it might not seem like much, but it's something. And you know what happens? When you take those steps, your brain says, yes, boom, all of a sudden, this is possible. It's far away, but it's possible because you've done something. And if you keep taking small actions over and over at every possible opportunity, we call this consistency, by the way, and you recognize them as wins, your brain keeps saying yes over and over. And then pretty soon you find yourself here. And guess what? You're halfway. Look at that. And if you keep doing this over and over, you find yourself here. Now, once you're halfway, it's easier to finish than to go back. And more importantly, you've built a habit of success based on positive reinforcement of little steps along the way that translate into big wins. Okay? Now, I want to share something with you. Here's a little quote. You can't think your way into good action, but you can act your way into good thinking. So that means by getting little wins, you're convincing yourself and you're getting those yeses from your brain, which will translate into habits, which will translate into big wins. So how does this apply to leadership? Well, same thing. You can't just set a goal for your team. Here we have our mountain. You can't just set a goal for your team and then expect the next day everybody's going to achieve that goal or magically you're all boom at the top, okay? When you have so many personalities at play, you need clear expectations and an even clearer roadmap to success. Then you need to not only communicate those expectations, but you need to chart and measure the results. And as you track the results, you can fine-tune the direction and make sure that you're meeting the targets. And as a team, you're winning. But then, as a leader, you reward the small steps, the small wins. You're like the brain of the activity. And if you keep saying yes over and over, once in a while, making a small correction will actually be welcomed and motivated. So that's my Mentor Minute for today. Take action. Do something. Do anything that moves the needle. Get a yes, and then do it again tomorrow. I am Big Nick, and for now, this is Big Leadership, because the world needs leaders.